It is 5:30 p.m. and with the ring of our Rotary bell, I open this meeting. Thank you, Shelby. Okay, let me start with a few announcements here for our members. What I would like to share with you in a moment, okay, is that as you know, we have new rules for registering for our events at the Union League Club due to the slowly going back to normal for the services that the Union League Club provides. So we all ask you that all in-person attendees must pre-register and prepay, if applicable. And also confirm your reservation by Thursday at 3 p.m. Our speaker next week is Jeremy Naylor from 7 Seas, and it's going to be a very, very interesting program. So please let our office know, or you can register by Thursday, 3 p.m. For those of you who would like a special meal, for the time being, the only special meal available is vegetarian. All right. And just in case, as you know, that mask mandates are being asked more every day in different cities of the country, bring a mask for next meeting, because I'm going to be wearing a mask while I'm not eating or drinking something. And I invite all of you to do the same. So if you don't have a mask with you, we're going to have masks that we can provide. But be aware that this may be the case for our meeting next week. All right. So, all right, we really appreciate your understanding for these new guidelines, but as you all know, we're all adjusting for what comes, and we're only this together, and we really want to take care of each other. So for those of you who are on Zoom, well, all of us are on Zoom today. So we are going to take questions after the remarks. And I invite you to ask one question and try to make it succinct. And yes. So this is what I have to tell you so far for announcements before we get started. And it is my honor to introduce now a video greeting from the Consul General of the Republic of Korea in Chicago, Dr. Young Song Kim. Shelby, could you please go ahead and play the video?
Good afternoon. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the Rotary Club of Chicago and the Chicago Sister Cities International for providing this opportunity to introduce Busan Metropolitan City to Chicago Rotary Club members and Chicagoans. As the sister cities, the city of Chicago and Busan Metropolitan City have been exchanging various activities since 2007, such as student exchange program. Currently, there are many difficulties with exchange activities due to COVID-19. But I think that having time to understand each other virtually is meaningful to revitalize exchanges between the two cities in the future. Mr. Jong-pil Chung, Secretary General of the Busan Foundation for International Cooperation, who will give a presentation today, has been working as a Korean diplomat for a long time. He is currently making great efforts to promote international exchange in Busan based on his various international experiences. I would appreciate your warm welcome to him. I hope that this meeting would serve as an opportunity to further revitalize the exchange project between the city of Chicago and Busan Metropolitan City. Consulate General of the Republic of Korea in Chicago will actively support the exchange between the two cities. Once again, I would like to thank everyone who prepared this event, especially Mr. Donald Garner, co-chair of Program Committee of Rotary Club of Chicago, Ms. Adrian Tongate, Executive Director of Global Strategic Initiatives, World Business Chicago, Ms. Lilly Kim, and Mr. Thomas Lee, co-chair of Busan Committee, Chicago Sister Cities International. Thank you very much.
Well, Mr. Consul General, we are very grateful for your remarks. And now to continue with the program, Don Gardner just called and he is going to be delayed. So lucky for me, because what I have, it is going to be my delight to introduce Adrian Tongate to our guests. I've had the pleasure of meeting Adrian in a couple of receptions where, of course, Donald Gardner was the big organizer. So Adrian, thank you so much for being with us today. But let me tell you a little bit about Adrian. She is the executive director of Chicago Sisters International, CSCI, a division of World Business Chicago that manages Chicago's 29 sister city relationships. Adrian provides leadership to CSCI staff and focuses on the development and implementation of CSCI's strategic plans and policies. Adrian joined Chicago Sister Cities International as an intern in 2005 and has held the positions of Associate International Program Manager, Senior Program Manager, and Deputy Director during her time with the organization. As Executive Director, she works closely with CSCI's Council of Chairs, the Chicago Consular Corps, CSCI's 600 plus volunteer committee members, and partner organizations to create programming that promotes Chicago as a global city and that fosters citizen-to-citizen diplomacy. Adrian is passionate about fostering girls' leadership and oversees CSCI, a core education initiative, the annual Global Youth Ambassadors Leader Summit. She also mentors teenage girls who are emerging leaders in their communities. Adrian was born in Virginia, raised in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and visited Chicago in 2004 on vacation and decided to stay. She holds a Bachelor of Arts in Sociology and Women's Studies from the University of New Mexico. Adrian, you have a dream job. So welcome, the floor is yours. We would love to listen to what you have to tell us.
Thank you so much for that very kind invitation or introduction. And you're right, I have a dream job, and I'm really fortunate that part of my job entails working with the Rotary Club. So I hope to see you soon in person at one of those great receptions.
Excellent.
And hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening or morning if you're joining us internationally. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Chicago Sister Cities International program, we share a very similar mission to the Rotary Club, in that our mission is to unite people across the world and in our communities. We believe that the more that individuals know about each other and learn about each other's similarities, and more importantly, the differences, the more peaceful the world will be. So this was a national campaign that was launched by President Eisenhower in 1960. Most cities have some sort of sister city program, but in Chicago, we're very fortunate that we have the largest and most active sister city program in the country. And this is due in large part to our amazing volunteers. We have 600 volunteers here in Chicago who are very passionate about the idea of citizen diplomacy, and they really drive our programming. We focus on education. As Margaret said, we just finished our Global Youth Ambassadors Leadership Summit, where we had 50 girls joining us from across Chicago and around our sister cities to talk about leadership, activism, and advocacy. We also focus on cultural exchanges, business and best practice exchanges. And we do that with the support of both the City of Chicago and our volunteers. The Chicago Sister Cities International Program is part of World Business Chicago, which is the city's economic development agency that focuses on bringing jobs to Chicago, and promoting really economic growth and inclusive growth in our neighborhoods, and promoting Chicago as a global city. And that's really the tie-in with the Chicago Sister Cities International. We have 600 volunteers who help make Chicago a welcoming global world-class city. We have a couple of upcoming programs that I hope that you'll join us for. We have our Discover Our Sister Cities series, where we talk about different unusual things going on or current topics going on in our sister cities. And that's fun to hear, just updates from our sister cities. And I'll do a shameless plug today that if anybody's interested either in joining us at one of those or joining us as a volunteer to Sister Cities, we'd love to talk to you about what's entailed in volunteer work. Because when you volunteer with Sister Cities, you're really volunteering for a long-term commitment where you advocate for Chicago around the world and bring people in and host them and help drive these relationships with our sister cities. Chicago and Busan have been sister cities since 2007. And in that time, they've been really active in bringing medical initiatives. We have a medical exchange that we do with Northwestern University around breast cancer, where we've hosted several doctors from Busan. They've sent us some beautiful performances from world-class performers that have performed at Millennium Park that have been just beautiful. And we've also had several business exchanges. And so as we grow and strengthen the Busan Sister City Partnership, I'd like to thank and acknowledge the Consul General, Dr. Kim, for his ongoing support, our counterparts in Busan. I'm really excited to see you today, so thank you for joining us. And I especially want to thank our co-chairs, Lilly Kim and Thomas Lee, who have really led the committee through the pandemic and now out of the pandemic. So I'm looking forward to working with the two of them next for the committee and the exchanges. And I hope that if you're joining us on the call and you're interested in volunteering with the Busan committee, that you'll join us in that fun. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very, very much, Adrian. Yes, we'll be asking at the end of the presentations, we'll be having a questions and answers few session. Okay, well, now, Adrian, I think you go next in introducing Lilly Kim.
Thank you. So it's my absolute pleasure to introduce Lilly Kim, who's been a real leader in the community, both through Chicago Sister Cities and in her own right before she joined. And as I said, she joined right before the pandemic. And I just really admire, Lilly, your leadership in keeping everybody together and active and engaged through the pandemic and now making plans for going forward. So Lilly, thank you for everything that you do. We appreciate that this is a volunteer job for you, but that you've really embraced it. Thank you.
So much, Adrian, and for that introduction. Can everyone hear me right now? Yes. All right, great. And then thank you for everyone who put this event together today. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. Basically, I just want to showcase how much I am just so proud to be a Korean American. I was born here in the States, didn't go back to Korea until I was in my 20s, so it was a lot to discover. And when I was younger, I didn't really know much about Korean culture except for Korean barbecue. And that was it. I just knew that little girl was in the middle of the table and I ate all the delicious side dishes, the colorful, sweet, the spicy that came with the meat, and of course, a bowl of rice and a soup. And it's just such a great way to interact and eat community-wise with a bunch of friends or your family. Well, then, of course, K-drama became popular. Then, of course, K-pop, we have the BTS, the Blackpink. K-beauty is just all over the globe right now. So if you want to get into some new K-beauty, because I think they overshine the French cosmetics right now, definitely try that. And the movies, a couple years ago, we had Parasite that came out that won a Golden Globe. And just this year, we had Minari, actress Ya Jung-yoon, who won Best Supporting Actress. And if you look at this picture down here at the bottom, that's Minari. That's Steven Yeun. He is from Chicago. He and I used to audition for shows back when we were a lot younger, but he's a big star right now. You've probably seen him in Breaking Bad. But South Korea is an East Asian country. It sits on the southeast corner of Asia. Seoul is the largest city. And if you're wondering, how do I get to Busan? Well, there's no direct flight to Busan. You have to fly into Incheon, which is kind of like serving as the O'Hare of Seoul. but Incheon does have its own city. There's a lot of residents, a lot of things going on. But you kind of have to get into Seoul and then take this train all the way down to Busan. There is a movie called Train to Busan, but there shouldn't be any zombies on the way down there. But Busan is the second largest city. Chicago is also known to be the second city. So we do have a lot of similarities. So the Busan train takes about 2.5 to 3 hours. It's about 200 miles away, but it's absolutely beautiful just taking the scenic route. Korea is 70% mountains. If you go there in the summer, the greenery, the mountains, they're so gorgeous. This is a green I've never seen. You go there in the fall through the mountains, the trees, they're turning red, yellow, orange. The grandmas, they love, it's called tampum. They love it. They want to go see these changing leaves. And of course, since it's so mountainous, you're going through the mountains and not over them. So it's a little fun going through the tunnels as well. Fortunately, there will be an airport being built in Busan. So Thomas Lee will talk a little bit more about that next. And Chayakachi Market is the most amazing place to go. If you like fish, if you don't like fish, you just got to go there anyways. As soon as you walk in, your senses are just going to be just wowed out. It's crazy. Just the action, the energy, the women, the men, they're selling all these fresh fishes that they just caught that day. And it's not even a market. It's like its own city. It's absolutely amazing. There's so much energy. You can get fish on a stick, fish soup, fish stew. You can get sashimi, sushi, grilled fish. You think Bubba Gump had a lot of shrimp? Chayakachi Market has so much fish and more shrimp than Bubba Gump ever had. Next, we're gonna watch me. This is live octopus. Sorry if this offends anyone, but every culture has something a little crazy to do. So this is my crazy thing that I did. So this is live octopus. Yeah, they're moving. So they're not really alive. They killed the head off. It's just their nerves are still moving around. So yeah, I was getting a little excited taking this video. But if you like calamari, you got to try it. If you like grilled calamari, it's the freshest calamari that you can ever taste. So here's me actually eating it. So it's moving. So definitely try it. It's called San Nakchi, which means live little octopus. Okay. And then this is my other favorite part of Busan is Helen De Beach. I am such a beach girl. And when I was visiting Korea, none of my relatives wanted to go to the beach. Korea is just not known to be a beach town. They're just, I don't know, they're just more city people. But we do have a beach and it's called Haeundae. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's probably the most popular beach in Korea. There's luxury hotels, so many accommodations. There's all these different spas. You could spend a whole day, get massages, get a facial. And I've done an Airbnb in Busan. You can find a really good deal. So definitely check out Airbnb if you want to stay there more than a few days. So what's also very common, what they have similar with Chicago is that they have this polar bear club. So this takes place in January. Korea's winters are not as cold as our Chicago's, but it gets pretty cold, near freezing. So this is taking place in January up on the right. They just want to rejuvenate, just like how we do in Chicago, erase all the bad from the previous year and get in with the new. And also what I love about Haeundae Beach, which is just like Chicago, there are no private residents, there are private businesses on the beach. Chicago made sure to reserve every beachfront for the public. So that's another amazing fact to know as well. And Chicago Sister Cities has been a really great friend to Taste of Korea Chicago. The festival started in 2017. What we do as an organization, we always recognize our Korean War veterans during the ceremony. Without the Korean War veterans, we wouldn't know where us as Korean people would be, my parents, my grandparents, where we'd be as a society, as a country, as an economy. So we always make sure during this event, we try to invite as many Korean War veterans. We even went to their homes last year during COVID because we didn't have a festival. And we all gave them as many gifts, as many certificates of appreciation for their duty. And coincidentally, there is a Korean festival this Saturday. So take out your pen or take a little snapshot of the screen. this Friday through Sunday at H Mart Niles. That's the largest Korean grocery store in the area.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a festival. The flyers on the right. We have K-pop, B-boy, taekwondo, soju, kimchi, bulgogi. If you don't know what those are, you better go to this festival and find out. So there's the link on the bottom. It's chicagoklife.com. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope to see everyone this weekend. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Lily, that was wonderful. Okay, give me a second here. Okay. Yes, gosh, well, I had the fortune to visit Korea, so it's a fascinating country. I mean, I've never seen so many screens in my life and so much, action. I think it made us look like a sleepy town here, I have to say. So, but I love the energy, and Seoul and Busan are cities that never sleep, I think, like our New York, right? Yes. So, okay. Well, our next guest is going to be Thomas Lee. I said Tom. No, but let me see. Yes. So, Tom, we look forward to listening to what you have to tell us about Busan and the relationship with our city. So, the floor is yours.
I'm Thomas Lee, who joined the CSCI's Busan committee as a co-chair in late February this year. Mostly I am involved in economic matters, so my session would be focusing on economic side, because Lily already touched regarding tourism and the food and festival side about that. Actually, as Korean American as first generation, I came to Chicago from Samsung Korea in 1994. Because at the time, Samsung's North America headquarters of construction equipment division was located at Rolling Meadows at the time. So I left Samsung in 1999 and started my own business in Chicago, which has been doing international trading, mostly between Korea and USA, and also consulting for big projects like Korean companies' investment for shale oil and gas industries in USA. Back to our today's main topic. That's the reason why I had the opportunity to visit Busan 1 to 2 times every month when I worked for Samsung in Korea during 80s and early 90s, because Samsung's factory was located nearby Busan, so-called Changwon City. So at that time, I could see the Busan's fast growth after Korean War. Mm-hmm. So Busan, actually after Korean War in 1953, city of Busan started growing as garment and shoe industries and became second largest city and largest port of Korea as of today. So all of the containers shipment between Korea and USA are only through Busan port. Also, new Busan airport construction, which would be more than $7 billion investment, would be started in a few years. That would be also good opportunity for many companies in Chicago to business with companies in Busan. As conclusion remark, I really hope that there are a lot of business and tourism exchanges between Chicago and Busan in the near future. So all of our Rotary One Club members in Chicago to visit Busan very soon and have a business with many companies in Busan very soon. Okay, thank you.
Tom, thank you so much. Your talk about Busan brings me good memories. And I don't know if you ever knew that a few years ago, Rotary International held its international convention in Seoul.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you heard about it, but from all over the world to Seoul, Korea received 44,000 Rotarians.
Wow. Okay.
And that was the size of our convention. It was just something so fabulous. And it was just an extraordinary show that Korea put for all of us. I mean, and we're eternally grateful for that. So, yes, and we have a very, very dynamic Rotary presence in several cities in Korea, as you may know. So, and in fact, now we have one of our members of the board of directors is from Korea. We have trustees from Korea as well. So, yeah, there's a very strong relation between Korean clubs and the leadership of Rotary International. So, well, now to continue with the program, I would like to introduce our immediate past president, Eric Campbell, who will continue this presentation. So, Eric, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you so much, Marga, and thanks to all the great remarks that we've already heard. First, since my job is to introduce our keynote speaker here today, let me do that first in English. 처음에 영어로 말할게요. Those of you who know me know that I have a special affinity for Korea. I lived and worked in Korea because my wife and fellow Rotarian Pilbin, Impilbin Paksanim, is Korean. During that time, I visited Busan several times for work and for pleasure. And as Lilly was pointing out, Busan is a beautiful city and in many ways is similar to Chicago in terms of its population size, its position on the body of water, as you saw in that photo with the beaches right there in the city. Maybe a little bit more fresh seafood in Busan, of course, the sengnakji. So I'm thrilled to have this meeting uniting Busan and Chicago. And I'm thrilled that Mr. Jongpil Jung, Secretary General of the Busan Foundation for International Cooperation, is joining us live from Korea today. Mr. Jung studied broadcast journalism and political science. He worked overseas, as was mentioned, as a Korean diplomat. And his organization, BFIC, promotes Busan globally through international exchanges and development cooperation. This is exactly the point of Rotary One and Rotary One's Chicago Sister Cities series that we host with Chicago Sister Cities International. Now, one more time in Korean. 다시 한번 한국말로 합시다. 여러분 반갑습니다. 반갑습니다. 3살짜리처럼 한국말을 해서 죄송합니다. 저는 시카고 로터리 클럽 2020년, 2021년 전 회장이었던 에릭 캠플입니다. 세계에서 한국에서 오신 손님을 환영합니다. 저는 15년 전에 한국에서 2년 동안 살때 한국교통연구원에서 일했습니다. 고객과 함께 국제교통 프로젝트들을 맡아서 일했습니다. 또 저는 2010년에 부산에서 2010 ITS World Congress을 개최하도록 도왔습니다. 그래서 부산에 자주 출장 갔었습니다. 부산은 아름다운 항구 도시입니다. 그럼 제가 왜 한국에서 살았을까요? 제 부인이 한국 사람입니다. 부산광역시 국제교류제라는 나라 간의 교류와 개발 협력의 가치를 높게 생각하고 있습니다. 시카고 로터리 또한 이렇게 생각해서 Chicago Sister Cities 시리즈를 시작했습니다. 그래서 부산 국제교류재단 정종필 사무총장님이 오늘 이 자리에 있기 때문에 너무 행복합니다. 정종필 사무총장님, the floor is yours.
I didn't know that you have a so special relationship with Korea and Busan. I'm very excited to know that. Magra and other, I think all good afternoon. But as you know, the Busan is now, this is the morning time actually. So I'm still half asleep and half awake. So that, thank you for all inviting me to this excellent program. First of all, I'd like to introduce briefly about the BFIC and myself. BFIC is the affiliated foundation to Busan Metropolitan City. We work for two values. First job is to promote Busan's global status and improve the Busan international competitiveness by expanding international exchanges. Second job is to support foreign residents, including Americans, to settle down smoothly in Busan and live happily. And about for me, I was a diplomat and I was a Chicagoan, actually, serving in the Consulate General of Republic of Korea in Chicago between 2009 to 2012. For 3 years, I was a Chicagoan. And yeah, I'd like to convey my special appreciation to Lilly Kim, the Consul General of Korea in Chicago, for his kind introduction and greetings. Anyway, I'm very honored and pleased to join this program. I have prepared some presentation material, so you don't have to watch my unattractive face for a long time. So focus on the presentation material. Okay. Okay. My presentation material consists of 3 parts. First is a general outline of Busan, and second is the potential business opportunity for the Rotarian, and third is our 2030 Busan World Expo. Okay. Mm-hmm. I prepared one video clip for just the outline of the Busan. Please enjoy the video first.
What time? What time is it now? What time? What time do you have? What does your time mean?
Busan, Lilly Kim already explained about Busan very well, so I'd like to skip some items. And the location is already explained, and area is the second biggest, largest city in Korea. Climate, we have a temperate climate with 4 distinct seasons, like Chicago. Warm in the summer and cool in the winter due to the maritime climate. So I still remember the very, very severe cold weather of Chicago when I served in Chicago during the winter time. So Busan is a little milder than Chicago during the winter time. And the main industries, as the Thomas Lee already explained about that, so about the business area, so footwear and textile and the shipbuilding, automotive, and so on. This is a location of the Busan, so as you really explained about that. In the southeast tip of the Korean peninsula, just facing the Japan. Japan is very close. Attraction in Busan is usually called the Marine City. The famous beach is Helen De, as Lilly explained it. And we have a lot of mountain also. Busan means, as Eric knows about that, san means a mountain, actually. Bu means the shape of the mountain. So Busan is just the meaning of mountain. So we have a lot of mountain and beaches in Busan. And also parks, and also we have a lot of parks in what they say is Busan Citizen Park, the Yongdusan Park, the APEC Nuri Park, and also the Cultural Center, also the Cinema City. As you know, the Busan International Film Festival is very famous all over the world. We can see that. It changed as a sister city, as the Adrian explained about that. So we have Busan and Chicago have a sister city since the 2007. So in 2012, the Busan Metropolitan Orchestra visited Chicago to commemorate the 5th anniversary of the Busan-Chicago sisterhood relationship. And 2015, the Busan invited the Chicago high school and the college student to discuss about the education system. And finally, in 2017, there is a Busan Day event was held in Chicago. So it's the 10th anniversary of the sister city hood relationship. Busan art troops performed in the Millennium Park, and we have a photo exhibition and a taekwondo demonstration, and public relation booth is installed. So I think next year is we can celebrate the 11th anniversary of Busan-Chicago sisterhood relations. We have to prepare some event or ceremony, I think. The second chapter is about the economy. We have 8 branded image of Busan in the future. So as far as I know, a lot of Rotarian in Chicago is a businessman, I think. I'd like to explain about the potential business opportunity for the Rotarian, actually. It is an 8 image. I'd like to explain one by one. First thing is a city cultivating global talent. Busan is an excellent international student and educational environment. Through the cooperation with the cities, universities, and the companies, we have 24 universities in Busan, so many. We can strengthen the attraction of international students and cultivate the global talent in Busan. Chicago has a lot of prestigious universities, such as University of Chicago, is a Northwestern University, and the University of Illinois at Chicago. So we can expand our exchanges between the universities. This is my recommendation. And second thing is a city centered on the world peace. Busan is a peace city with the world's only UN Memorial Cemetery in Busan. We have a Busan UN Weeks program, as well as the Busan World Peace Forum. As you know, during the Korean War, the 16 countries, including America, USA, sent combat troops to protect South Korea against the invasion of North Korea. So 2,311 soldiers' feet rest in peace in the Memorial Cemetery. So Busan is now remembering of the Korean War veteran sacrifice. Still, we have a lot of ceremony and event for that. And the third one is a hub city for the international tourism and the MICE industry. Busan is ranked 12th as the World International Conference City and has excellent transportation infrastructure, such as airport and port, and really explained about KTX express train station, and abundant tourism resources. And we have 2.6 million foreign visitors. Chicago has also a lot of tourism resources, and I'm still remembering the Chicago River City architectural cruise tour. Is this still working? Yeah, I was very impressed about that, and also the Millennium Park, also the Navy City, Navy Pier. Okay, a Navy Pier. The Michigan Avenue for shopping. Michigan Avenue. I was still remembering that things. And Chicago is very famous for the MICE industry also. I remember that there's auto show, automatic, under the air show also. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. The fourth is Busan is a city with a festival of film and media. So do you know that Busan has 44 global seasonal festivals, including Busan, the International Film Festivals, and the Fireworks Festivals, and Global Gathering, and the One Asia Festival for K-pop, as really Kim explained it very much. So, as you know, Parasite and Minari has received the Academy Award, and a lot of Korean movies were filmed in the Busan. And so we can develop the Festival of Film and Media into the Busan branding and higher competitiveness. Okay, and fifth was a hub city for the Northeast Asia trade. Maybe Thomas Lee is interested about that. We have 37 sisters and the friendship city in 27 countries. And Busan is a gateway connecting the ocean to the continent and the central city of a transportation and logistics network. Through the project of hosting the 2030 Busan World Expo and the strengthening the new southern and the northern region economic cooperation, we can expect the globalization of Busan and create an attractive environment for investment, I think. Busan is applied to host the 2030 Busan World Expo on June 23rd, one month ago in Paris. So we are trying to do our best to hosting the World Expo in 2030.
Okay.
Okay, and sixth thing is digital and green smart New Deal city. This is a very important issue because the new mayor of Busan is proposed the Busan heading to the future and the green smart city as a new vision and the policy objective of Busan this year. So now then also we have to secure new growth engine and revitalize the local economy through these very promising industries. And now we are constructing the Elko Delta Smart City in Western Busan right now. So if you visit in the future, you can see that which is the pilot city in Korea. And we can expect the smart safety system and smart transportation system and healthcare system, the robotics-based lifestyle, and no energy city. So it's a dream city, actually. So you can see that in the Busan from next year. We are going to finish that construction by end of this year. Okay. Okay, and the seventh is an ASEAN-based development cooperation strategic city. Through the development cooperation project with ASEAN, we'll find out the sustainable Busan specialized ODA models. You know the ODA. ODA is an official development assistance. Eric is a work for the KOICA. So I think you are very familiar with the ODA program. Right.
That's right. We did a lot of that.
Right. Busan hosted the ASEAN summit meeting both in 2014 and 2019, 2 times. So as you know, Korea has transformed from the recipient country of foreign aid to donor country in terms of ODA. So we'd like to share our experiences and the lessons with the ASEAN partner country and cities. Right. Last one is the livable city for foreigners. And we are creating an optimal cultural life infrastructure. Because there are 8,000 foreigners living in Busan right now. So by improving foreign settlement conditions, we can create an enjoyable city where global citizens can live together comfortably. The city of Chicago is a well-known global city, as far as I know, with the diversity, actually. So we would like to learn how to embrace the foreigners from all over the world, including the Korean American community. That is my job. Okay, and the third one is Busan Expo, World Expo. So you can see the very short video clip first. So after that, I will explain about that.
Passengers, we will soon be landing in Busan, a city in the Republic of Korea that aspires to host the World Expo 2030. Welcome. We hope you will enjoy this special tour of Busan we have prepared to introduce to you our vision for the 2030 World Expo. At the World Expo 2030 Busan, a future beyond your imagination will unfold right before your eyes. A World Expo where science, technology, and culture from 170 countries around the world and our vision of a new future will be vividly showcased. If the 2030 World Expo is held in Busan, we will work together with the countries and citizens of the world to seek solutions to humanity's shared challenges in the time-honored spirit of the World Expos. Also, we will contribute to humanity's progress to ensure the prosperity of future generations. Busan, with the world's 6th largest port, is a gateway city to Eurasia and a global business city with international logistics, finance, and ICT networks. Busan is an attractive tourist city with a beautiful natural environment and sophisticated tourism infrastructure. Busan already has abundant experience in hosting international events and has gained worldwide recognition for its outstanding global exhibition capabilities. By hosting the 2030 World Expo, Busan endeavors to interconnect the world and open the door to a new future with endless possibilities. The World Expo 2030 Busan will highlight new advancements in diverse areas achieved by the Republic of Korea through excellence in innovation and technology. By weaving cutting-edge technology with art and culture, the World Expo 2030 Busan will enrich the future of human civilization. At the 2030 Busan World Expo, you will be able to feel, explore, and experience firsthand a new tomorrow and a better world. Sharing wisdom to bring about a better future for all. This is the goal World Expo 2030 Busan will aim for. World Expo 2030 Busan, a celebration for all the people of the world. Join us in Busan for the 2030 World Expo. It's the World Expo 2030 Busan.
Before the conclusion, I'd like, first of all, about the business opportunity. As you see, the Busan and Chicago have more similarities rather than the differences, actually. Busan is the second largest city in Korea, and Chicago is the third in USA. And the size of Korean American community is also third largest in the USA, as far as I know. I assume the Rotary Club Business Busan Committee consists of some Korean American from Busan. Busan and Chicago are the hub cities for finance and culture and commerce and industry and education, technology and transportation, tourism, and so on. This means that two cities have a lot of areas to cooperate each other in the future, including the hosting of World Expo. According to about the Expo things, and I'd like to add a couple of things more on the video clip. Some people may remember that Korea has already hosted the Expo 2 times before, in 1993 at Daejeon and 2012 in Yeosu. But two Expo were just a recognized exhibition. There's two kinds of Expo, actually. That's the recognized exhibition, not registered exhibition. So which has a bigger scale and open longer than the recognized exhibition. So we know that Chicago hosted the World Expo in 1893. Do you remember it?
Oh, yeah. I don't remember, but yes, I read about it.
Yeah, you're very young. When you're very young. It's 1893, where the Korean government, that time is a Joseon dynasty, actually. That time constructed the Pavilion of Korea first time. So the BIE is the headquarters of the World Expo. Is going to decide which city will host the 2030 World Expo. So it will be decided in 23 in 2 years later in Paris. So
Okay.
I hope Chicago will support us as the next host city of World Expo and share a lot of experiences and lessons with Busan. This is what I have prepared for this meeting. I'd like to connect the Chicago Sister Cities Busan Committee with the Rotary Club Busan chapter. We have a Busan chapter in Rotary Club in the near future. Yeah, right. And we are going to prepare some event to celebrate the 15th anniversary of sisterhood relation between the Chicago and Busan next year. So that's it. And thank you very much for your attention.
Well, Mr. Jang, it has been such a delight to see not only what is being built already in Busan, because when I visited Busan a few years ago, I thought I went to the future and came back.
Okay.
I can't even imagine what it's going to be like in 2030. And my goodness, I hope we're fortunate enough to come and visit and see all the progress. I know for sure Eric Kempel is going to be delighted to go there and see everything that is going to happen with transportation.
Yeah, welcome anytime visit to Busan.
Oh, really? No, it is truly, truly spectacular to see. And also that Korea is willing to share all the lessons learned, which is so important. So thank you, really. Well, we are going to have here Mr. David J. But and after his awards, we're going to have a session of questions and answers with the time we have available. So David J., I would like to bring you to the floor. He is the principal officer of the U.S. Consulate in Busan. So we would love to hear what you have to tell us, and welcome to our meeting.
Thank you very much. Thank you for Jongpil and Eric for inviting me to join you. It's been a really interesting presentation, really great insights on the sister city relationship and the roadmap, both for Busan itself and perhaps the sister city relationship. So I think it's been a very fruitful time. Overall, the U.S.-ROK relations are at a high point. The summit in May also presented a roadmap of ways that we can cooperate. At the end of the Korean War, General MacArthur kind of looked at the carnage that was the Korean Peninsula at that time and said it would take 100 years for Korea to recover just from the war. And a lot of partnership, a lot of hard work, a lot of the ingenuity and determination that Korea has demonstrated throughout its existence. 57 years later, Korea went from being a recipient state to being a donor state through the Development Assistance Committee in the OECD, the organization for the OECD for advanced countries. So that's amazing. I mean, it's been characterized as the miracle, but everyone knows that a lot of times miracles need a lot of help from a lot of hard work. And so both the US-ROK partnership and the determination of the Korean people really brought that about. But I think that it also highlights sort of the ethos behind service, partnership, the kind of service and partnership that Busan and Chicago has, the kind of service that Rotary embodies. A lot of it is just doing the right thing, but also it is yields really strong results. It's not service just makes everything better for everyone. Mm-hmm. You can do well by doing good. And so I think that this relationship is a shining example of that. And as someone who did service clubs in high school, I love to see this kind of people-to-people relationship and subnational, even sub-municipal type of relationship building. So let me congratulate you guys and thank you again for letting me join. I think as a servant of the people, as a U.S. government employee, our residence actually isn't ready yet. And so I'm actually staying in a hotel. And one of the things that I can maybe contribute, again, to echo Jongpil's words, so you're not always looking at my not handsome face, is to show you a live photo of Helen De.
Wow.
So there's skyscrapers there. There's the famous Helen De Beach. This is actually the other angle
Wow.
from Lily's photos of the beach. But yes, it is a vacation morning for many, not for me, but for many in Busan. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you, and thank you again.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you for being with us, really. So, okay, well, now we start our questions and answers session, and we have a few minutes for that. So, Eric, I will let you take the lead on this.
Well, thank you very much, Marga. I'm happy to do that. So if folks have questions, please pop them in the chat box. And to get things going, I'm, of course, going to start with the transportation question, since that was what my job was when I worked for the Korean government. It was mentioned by, I think, both Mr. Jung and Thomas about the port in Busan. Obviously, the port is quintessential for the economy in Busan. And I want to say that if I recall correctly, that at some point it was the second or third busiest port in the world. But over the last couple of decades, it's started to be overtaken by the Chinese ports that are constantly growing, right? Like everything in China is growing. So I'm curious what the strategy is with that. Is it trying to compete, or is it trying to kind of find a niche market or change the direction? So that's what I'm curious about.
I can answer the question. You are expert in transportation issue, actually, but I am not. But we are talking about the tri-port. Have you heard about the tri-port? Is it the airport and the seaport and the railroad station is an express train? That is a tri-port. So we are the essence of the connecting the ocean to the continent. And the seaport, you are talking about the seaport, right? Actually, so
yes.
Busan is famous for the sixth largest seaport in the shipment and the logistics and area. But we are making a new port we call it a Bukang North Port. It's a completely new, as automatic and it's green energy port right now. So, and the one thing is we are first in the Busan is transshipment is then the first in the world, actually. So we are specialized our capability, and are expanding the capability to manage the logistics and the transshipment and the thing. Now traditionally, so Busan is famous for the port, the biggest port in Korea right now. And the Incheon is also our big, now the catching up Busan, and as you saw, a lot of Chinese seaport is now, they are expanding their capability right now. So we are going to the right direction and expanding our capabilities and modernized and automatic system. We are employing the automatic system. So our goal is the first port in the world, actually. Yeah, in the capabilities and the transshipment and everywhere. So that's our dream and our goal. So thank you.
Got it. Thank you. So we have another question here from Lilly Kim, who you heard from earlier. She's curious about the latest COVID restrictions and quarantine rules. If one wanted to go visit Korea, to go visit Busan tomorrow, what would they be facing? Maybe still we are, as you know, the Delta variant is now spreading so fast in all over the world. So we are, tightening the restriction these days again. So we have to some quarantine 14 days again. So it's not easy to travel around the world actually right now. But as you know,
we call this a Korea quarantine measure is so famous and very cost-effective way of the control the COVID-19. So I'm sure in the near future. So now vaccination, a lot of Korean people now get vaccinated right now, and we are very effective way of the controlling the social distancing right now. So hopefully in the future, so a lot of Chicagoan can visit Busan, and a lot of Busan people can visit Chicago in the near future. So hopefully, but I don't know. I don't know the future of COVID-19 actually. The COVID-19 is so cunning, so penetrating. So I think so nobody can know about all of the COVID-19, the future expectation, I think. So as the Margaret told us, that we can keep the quarantine measure and wear the mask just in case. So that's the best way to recover our daily life in the future. Yeah, thank you.
It's definitely very unpredictable. That's for sure. That's for sure.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Margaret. You're the president. You can ask whatever question you want.
Yeah, I'll use the power. I would like to ask David about his experience biking from Seoul to Busan.
That was going to be my question, Margaret.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
First, let me just say something really quickly about the quarantines. Korea began, especially before the Delta variant became so prevalent, they gave some information on their consulates on waivers for certain conditions, including visiting immediate families and other sort of emergency circumstances. So I encourage folks to check out the Korean consulate. I myself am kind of looking at that for my parents to come and visit. So just watch that space, and the consulate has good information on that. Biking to Busan, between the trains and planes and other great transportation that Lilly mentioned and others have mentioned, biking is another one. There's a phenomenal biking infrastructure. I thought it was a fantastic way to get to know my consular district. So my district covers North Gyeongsang, South Gyeongsang, and Jeju. And in hindsight, maybe the monsoon season during a heat wave was not the best time to do it, but it was a fantastic way to see the country. It was amazing just stopping for every meal to see how all of the side dishes just evolve and change slightly across each small city and small region. And so, seeing Korea at the ground level, literally, along with a dedicated team who had actually done it with Ambassador Stevens previously, as well as some other folks in a small group. COVID safe. It was a really great introduction to the region and a way to get to know the friends here in the consular district. Yeah.
That's extraordinary. Okay, well, we do bicycle rides about polio. We fundraise for polio eradication, which is the common cause that Rotarians have all over the world. So one of our friends did that bike ride to raise awareness for that. I heard a little bit about the infrastructure. Hope that I get to bike one day there. Yes.
Also, Eric or Marga, this is Jin Lee. I just have a quick comment, if I may.
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Mr. Jung.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. So this is Jin Lee. I serve as education committee at the Busan City in Chicago. And it's great to see everyone. And thank you for Rotary Club, CSCI, for hosting this wonderful gathering. And it has been a truly pleasure to see Mr. Jung through Zoom. I was delighted his face and his name on such, because it's been a few years when he served as a vice counsel at the city of Chicago at the council office. So we did have a good relationship. And when I hear his name, wow, this is a fantastic. So most definitely, Sister City International and Busan City, Chicago, you guys are in a great hand to rely on and resources from Mr. Chung, especially he's in the Busan Foundation serving as Secretary General. That's a fantastic relationship. And who would know better than Chicago than Mr. Chung? So we're looking forward to working with him and visiting Busan in the near future.
Well, we are so lucky that you were able to join us, and really, what a delight to have you, to meet you, David, and to have our guests now. And we have some time left, but what I would like to do is take about 10 minutes to introduce our guests. And I have some names here that I would like you just to say where you are from. And I'm going to read a few names here. We have Derek. Hello, Derek. Kabuye, welcome back. It's good to see you.
Hi, Maga.
Hey.
Good to be here again. I mean, I've loved the whole Busan city. Just wondering how long it can take Kampala to get to the stage that Busan is on. I think we have a couple of 1,000 years to go. But yeah, wonderful meeting, and glad to be here and looking forward next week as well.
Well, and if I recall, there was a promise on your side to bring your friends along. So, you know. Okay.
Well, I'm getting you a battalion next week.
Awesome.
We'll have many of them on the call.
Excellent. And it's really late in Kampala now. My goodness, thank you for being up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, I see Karen Dennis here. Would you like to say a few words?
Yes.
Hi.
I am so glad I've had the opportunity a couple of times to listen into some of your presenters. I'm the new president of the Highland Park Highwood Rotary Club. I was particularly interested in this one because I've been to Seoul a couple of times, and I have a very good friend who's actually visiting from Seoul now. So I learned a lot. And someday maybe I'll get to Busan. Thank you.
Yes, after this presentation, I think we are many of us are eager to visit there. I'll move to Steve Kurda. I think.
Yeah, hi, Steve Kurda from Chicago, Illinois. Great to hear all the great information. We're really excited about continued city partnership between Chicago and Busan. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us, Steve, and you're welcome to come and visit us to any one of our meetings.
Oh, would love to. Thank you.
Okay. Well, Mary is telling us that she doesn't have a microphone, but great to have you here with us, Mary, and I hope you come back. What I'm going to do now then is to show Mr. Jong Pil Jung a certificate that we are going to send you. As thanks for being with us today. We really, really value your presentations. So, and I hope if you come to the city of Chicago for one reason or another, we will welcome you with open arms in our club. So be sure of that. Okay, let us know. Okay. All right. Well, what I would like to do now is to tell our members of some, and our guests as well, of some upcoming volunteer opportunities. We have one of them coming up on Friday, August 13th. Rotary One members are needed to volunteer to distribute meals and socialize at a happy hour with the seniors at Maple Point Apartments. If you haven't done this service project yet, I highly recommend it. It is a very, it's a wonderful time. You're going to meet people super, super interesting. I can guarantee you that. So the setup is going to be at 5:30, and the social is from 6 to 7 p.m. and cleanup is from 7 to 7:30 p.m. So Alita, as always, is going to cater the food. And it's a really, really a good time that you can have with this group of people. Among our upcoming events, our District 6450 is holding a 4-part diversity, equity, and inclusion speaker series that is starting this coming Thursday at 6 p.m. The speaker is going to be Tiffany Hightower, and she will discuss the lack of economic opportunity and investment in minority communities in the Chicago area. So please come and be a part of the discussion and the solution. You can register on the District 6450 website. And Alita, if I haven't told you that, she is the chair of the DEI committee for our district, and she is going to be chairing this meeting as well. Another important event that is taking place on August 21st, our district is holding our district assembly. So I really encourage all of you, especially our officers in the club, to participate in this in-person event. It's just a few hours on Saturday morning. I will be there. And I will be celebrating my birthday with all of you at the district assembly. Okay, so come and join me. All right, and another really big event. I mean, big, I'm talking about 1,000 Rotarians coming together. It is going to take place in September, and it is a Dual Zone Institute. Usually these institutes are training sessions for the DG, district governors, nominees, and the district governors-elect and the current district governors. But in this year, they're opening it up to every Rotarian that would like to attend, plus their significant others and Rotaractors as well. The speakers is just a really fantastic group of people, very inspiring. So, and one of the things you can do is have lunch with Jennifer Jones, Lunch with Jen, the event is called, who is our first woman president of Rotary International. She will be president starting in July of next year, in July 1st. And as you know, she is wonderful, very accessible, and you will get to have lunch with Jen. So you can come for the 5 days if you want a short holiday in Houston, or just come for the weekend. It will really inspire. And if you're a new member of our club, you are going to meet a lot of people. There's even going to be a House of Friendship, which is like a market where Rotarians from different clubs and districts showcase their projects. So I hope you can make it. All right. And then, check also our website and our newsletter for the upcoming committee meetings. As I said last week, this is the perfect time to get involved in a committee. We are very active both at a local and a global level. And so get in touch with the committee members or call the office to see how you can get into the email list so you can participate and come, and we would love to hear what you have to tell us or what you would like to do with the help of our club, and maybe we can make it happen. All right. So before we close now, we have a tradition. One thing I forgot. This coming Friday, as all Fridays at noon at the Union League Club, we have the roundtable lunch. So you are invited to come and bring a friend. It's an informal lunch. There's no agenda, no work. It is just socializing. Usually we have guests from many countries that they come for business or for family reasons to Chicago. They are Rotarians, and it's a fun opportunity to meet people from all over the world, really. So the group is between 6 and 10. Sometimes there are 12 people, and it's a friendly, cordial lunch that you can have with our fellow Rotarians. Next Tuesday, we have Jeremy Naylor, who is the founder and chief visionary office of 7th Sea, which is a worldwide community. He created a worldwide community of conservationists who believe that we all want to help Mother Nature, but we never have the time. So he has divided a social enterprise together with his environmental goals that involve cleaning the oceans. So it is going to be very interesting. And if you come, I really invite you to register as soon as possible, as I mentioned earlier in the meeting, so you can have you can confirm your presence for next Tuesday. So last but not least, what we do in our meetings for our guests to know, we read the four-way test. Adrian Tongate, are you still here with us?
I am.
Excellent. Would you like to read the four-way test? These are, the things we think, say, and do in Rotary, and you can lead the reading.
Thank you. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you so much. And with that, I consider this meeting closed. All right, and it's